for you. We're going to try to do these. I'm going to ask you the question, see if we can get this in 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
See if you can give me the Cole's Notes version of everything.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
And we'll go for it. I got about 5 or 6 questions here. I'm going to ask everybody these questions that comes on the show, whether they're actually a roaster or not. Just they're general questions. All right.
Okay, let's do it.
This is called the Espresso Shot. 3, 2, 1. Favorite coffee, not yours.
Ooh, favorite coffee, not mine. Oh, I know this. I like 49th Parallel. They got freaking awesome coffee.
Vancouver, eh? You got some up here in Vancouver.
Yeah, they do a great job. I like Go Get 'em Tiger. I prefer their execution. I think they have they're a local shop in LA, but they do roast their own. They have incredible dedication to execution of coffee. Of course, I love our own as well. You know, Tartine's Coffee Manufactory is, up there for me. Awesome. Yeah. So definitely.
Favorite method of making coffee?
Ooh, okay. So I do a hybrid pour over. So what I use is a Kalita. The Kalita being the metal kind of funnel, which has the ruffled filter. And then what I do is, instead of that dripping into like a normal glass, I drip it into a Chemex. Oh. And then so when I'm pouring the Chemex, it aerates. So I get an aerated coffee. It's freaking awesome. That's my preferred. Listen, you can kind of see back here. Yeah. I've got a huge, you can close your eyes and pick one. And like at one point in my life, every morning I would close my eyes and be like, okay, siphon. We're going to do siphon today. Oh, we're going to do Hario pour over. But consistently go back to the Kalita with the Chemex. Great combination. Definitely a winner, and easy to clean up. Just throw that filter away. The siphon makes the best coffee on the planet, but it's a pain in the butt to clean. So,
favorite coffee region?
Ooh, Africa. Specifically Ethiopia. I love my Ethiopian coffee. Yeah, hands down.
You ready for this one?
I'm ready.
Hotel room coffee.
Ooh.
Or Truckstop.
Ooh, I'm going to say hotel room coffee because I feel like Truckstop is that boiled over coffee that's been sitting in a metal percolator, just cooking. And it's probably bottom of the barrel, where at least in the hotel, it's probably a Starbucks, so I'm going to say hotel.
Someone who doesn't know coffee, someone who's coming into coffee goes, what do I do? Where do I start? Absolute advice from you. If you're going to start with coffee and you're going to make your own coffee and you've got like a $25, $30 budget, whatever, and you don't want to do the Hamilton Beach, a Maxwell House thing or whatever, but you're like, your best introduction to coffee is what?
AeroPress, then French press. AeroPress for sure. It's cool, great quality of coffee, very reasonably priced. I mean, it's made out of plastic. It's a molding. Arabi hit a home run with that. It's awesome. I think I got one. Yeah, I got one right back here.
I use one every single day.
So
yeah, every single day. Absolutely. It's really, really, really the best. And last question, the biggest misconception about coffee.
The biggest misconception about coffee. Well, I think you kind of touched on it earlier. It's really, people assume darker the roast, the more caffeine. No, the lighter the roast, the more caffeine. The caffeine is in the shell of the coffee. In fact, when you have Swiss water, let's say decaf, there's water that's been basically blowing off that or watering off that shell. So I would say definitely the lighter the roast, it's definitely more caffeinated. I think that's a big misconception. There's a big misconception. I won't get into it because I don't want to piss off the coffee gods, but with cold brew and cold coffee, iced coffee, there's a whole thing of like, oh, it's not technically brewed if it's a Kyoto 8-hour drip because it's cold. Brew has to have a hot process. somebody back in the day created these rules. I don't necessarily know, what gave them the authority to do that, but I just there's a big misconception with all that. A brew, to me, a Kyoto 8-hour drip is still a brew. It's a cold brew. It's dripping. It's just because the water itself is not hot doesn't mean that the brew process isn't happening. So that to me is a misconception. But that's that we duke it out.
That's the first ever espresso hit right there. That's the espresso shot on Journey for Java. There we are.